We discussed about Sutra 46 and 47 last time, and some homework was given. We tried one little exercise, and based on that exercise, it was suggested that asanas should be practiced, particularly Yoga Mudra or Paschimottanasana. So, anyone would like to share about it? First, we'll do that.
2 दिन हो पाया था योग मुद्रा, and normally I do it for 2 minutes, and I did it for 4 minutes. तो ऐसा कुछ खास फर्क नहीं लगा. Just that sense of little achievement that I could do it for 4 minutes. बाकी ऐसा कुछ लगा नहीं.
About others.
For me, I tried in Pavan Muktasan, and every day doing the same and stayed for the longer time. So वो जब discomfort आता था, वो moment समझता था, body को relax करना, like the more like वहाँ पर जो thigh and abdomen का compression है और वहाँ पर वो relaxation, even though there is a compression, in that compression उसको वो muscles को relax करना with that massaging effect which is happening with the normal breathing. So I just tried observing that and वहीं पर relax करना और ज्यादा रुकना, effortless होना वहां पर, and knowing the capacity where the body is now telling you to release. So that was it. That came progressively more.
Anyone else would like to share?
Yes, sir.
Yes, dear.
Sir, so I tried in Uttan Vakrasan, slackening of effort. And that is the time when I realized that I was putting so much of efforts in that. And after releasing the effort, what I realized is there was more relaxation, there was more comfort, and I could hold at the same side, for a longer period of time. And there were so many changes which were happening, with the positive changes which were happening, like the lengthening of the spine could be understood, the sides of the body is opening up was understood, the knees were getting more relaxed, which were otherwise were getting tensed up unconsciously. So yes, the slackening of efforts, and yes, even Falguni makers do slackening of efforts, throughout the week. So we have realized that, कितना ज़्यादा efforts हम डाल रहे हैं उस आसन में जाने के लिए. So yes, sir, it was a wonderful experience for me.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Even I too have just experienced something better.
Yeah.
I was practicing that Sarvangasana.
Yeah.
And from Halasana, I go to this Sarvangasana. And from there, I just go to Vipreet Karni.
Oh.
And with this, I just could do that Sarvangasana without any support. Very easily. And after that, I could do that Vipreet Karni so comfortably. Previously, I was, collecting myself, my energy to just go into that posture and hold that posture and just look. Now I just could just, other than that, my asana, I could just see within my body also that where I'm just, how I'm doing, what are the facts are reflecting with this practice. I could just see within my body. So this is the thing I just could just find. And this is a big achievement. I feel that I could just do that Sarvangasana without any support. And I could hold it for quite a long time. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And the noticeable difference, sir, like जैसे effort छूट रहा था, the breath was slowing down even more.
Yeah. So breath was becoming deeper.
Yes.
That's good observation.
So I was doing Kapalbhati and Alom Vilom,
Ah,
and usually I don't inhale so much. So I was doing it outside, and I was inhaling more and exhaling more. So it felt really good. And now I think I'm inhaling more when I'm doing those asanas
okay.
and exhaling also. So increasing the lung capacity. So I liked it actually.
So you will attribute it to effort or to the relaxation?
Effort, because I was making an effort to inhale more. Because
Ah,
earlier I was not inhaling actually. I used to inhale very little. So maybe 10% of lung capacity. Now I think it's increased to 30%.
okay.
So I'm liking it.
Okay. So now keeping these principles in mind while performing the asanas, it is really helpful because we know where we want to reach and what is the aim. So sthirta and sukh, steadiness and comfort, these are two objectives, these are the two aims which are to be achieved. So in asana, if we are able to attain steadiness and if we are able to attain a level of comfort where the body is comfortable, because unless the body is comfortable, the mind will not be comfortable. The mind cannot focus, mind cannot concentrate. For the mind to be totally concentrated, body has to be very comfortable. If body is not comfortable, then mind cannot really focus well. So these two things have to be kept in mind, and whatever discussion we had just now, whatever sharing we had just now we have to understand the second sutra, Prayatna Shaithilya Ananta Samappattibhyam. Yoga posture is to be perfected or mastered by two things. One is Prayatna Shaithilya, the other is Ananta Samappattibhyam. Now, when we look at the first words, Prayatna Shaithilya is composed of against two words. And these two words are totally opposite to each other. Prayatna means effort and Shaithilya means relaxation. So if we read them together, it is relaxation of the effort. It will mean that. And if we take them separately, then the effort has to be there and the relaxation has to be there. So either way, when we look at it, we have to understand the very fact that Patanjali is using the word prayatna. Prayatna means effort. Now, where we use effort, we don't use effort in something which comes naturally to us. Something which we are habitually doing, something which is naturally occurring. There we don't require any effort. So effort is required where we are trying to attain something which is not normally there. Now, what is normally there and what is not normally there? Two opposite things are there. One is the disturbance in the body, agitation in the body, movement in the body, involuntary shakiness of the body, unsteadiness of the body. This is the natural thing which is there. And that's why last time we discussed that even if we decide to go into the most, this was also part of the homework which was discussed, that we can just take any comfortable position and then see how long we are able to be in that position very comfortably. If we are given the freedom, like in class, when we are taking sutra class or even the discussions are there, so teacher is sitting on the podium or teacher is sitting a little higher and students are watching the teacher. So students are continuously under the gaze of teachers, so they will try to maintain upright position, they will try to sit and they will be upright. But then even if the teacher gives this, this has been experimented. I have tried this in the classes, so I'm sharing this with you. That when you allow the students to recline against the wall, you tell them you take any comfortable position. So they may recline against the wall, lean down against the wall, or they may have some cushion. So they may recline near the cushion. Or even if you tell them you lie down, then also, and you tell them that you remain steady in whatever position you are taking for as long as possible. Surprisingly, what happens is after a few minutes, the most comfortable position becomes the most uncomfortable. That is the problem. So this is the natural condition of the body. Natural condition of the body is that mind is always agitated. right now, as I was telling you last time, 10-15 minutes we have been talking. Now, within these 10-15 minutes also, a lot many times the person tends to change the body position. Sometimes the hand will be lifted and kept somewhere, turning will be there, or just straightening of the spine will be there. So this keeps happening, and this happens most of the time unconsciously, because that is the natural tendency of the body. So Prayatna is involved, where Prayatna is, or effort is in which direction? Effort is in the direction of keeping the body steady and working against this tendency of body becoming agitated, body moving again and again. There is a need for movement. So there are impulses arising from the various kinds of various muscles from the extremities of the body, and then we keep on changing the body position. Now this tendency is controlled. How we control it? We have to put effort in that. So whenever asana is performed, we have to ensure that it is steady. So effort will go in the direction of steadiness. But at the same time, how long one can go on putting effort? That effort has to relax at some time. It can automatically get relaxed when we have done sufficiently long amount of effort has been put. Then something which we are trying to gain, that becomes natural to us. That becomes very easy for us. Then the effort is not there. It becomes almost automatic. But here it is meant that we consciously withdraw the effort. That is one of the method of perfecting the asanas. We put the effort, we become aware of the effort, and then we withdraw the effort. This way we can easily attain some amount of steadiness. And also when we are withdrawing the effort. Now you see, again you will find Prayatna Shaithilya. Shaithilya means, again, Shaithilya is relaxation, and relaxation is equal to Sukha, comfort. When we are relaxed, we are comfortable. Or either way we can say, when we are comfortable, we are relaxed. So comfort and relaxation both go hand in hand. So the effort has to be put in such a way that ultimately the posture becomes very, very comfortable. It comes naturally to us. So for that, mental state is required. If we are doing it automatically, if we are doing it unmindfully, if we are doing not paying attention involuntarily, we are doing just mechanically, we are doing, then this kind of steadiness, this kind of comfort doesn't come. So one has to be always, while doing asanas, one has to be mentally prepared. It is a conscious activity. You see, other exercises are there. They can be done unconsciously also. They will give mechanical benefit to us. So often I give this example in the class. We are normally, nowadays there is a fad of gymnasium. People join gym. Most of the people are joining gym nowadays, and they go and do exercise in the gym. And what kind of I go for a walk at a place where open gym is there. I can see the people performing various kinds of exercises. So I often find that there's a loud music and people are just pumping, people are just doing exercises. Some people are standing in front of the mirrors, and what they do is, so this is what they are doing. And then simultaneously they are either speaking on phone or they are talking to somebody else who's next to them. So now you see, this thing will also have advantage. What advantage is there? The mechanical advantage. So if for 10 times this movement is done, obviously the biceps are going to get strengthened, because muscles are working on the mechanical basis. But then what is the benefit? Only the muscle movement, only the muscle building movement, and the benefit is there of strong muscle. But mind is not engaged there. In yogasana, mind and movement has to be together. Then only this Prayatna Shaithilya can happen. Otherwise, it is not possible. We are not even aware of the effort. Some people, a very simple example would be Tadasana, for example. When we are doing Tadasana, often I have observed that people reach the final position and still they are trying to stretch. Now, you see, you cannot stretch beyond a point. After one has reached certain level of stretch, then one has to stay there comfortably. And only when one stays there comfortably, the withdrawal of effort can take place. Then one can relax in that position. Otherwise, like Konasana is there, Yoga Mudra is there. You're going down and you go on putting efforts. It is not going to be of any use because there is no chance of relaxation in such a situation. It is only when we become steady, we become calm, we become sthir, stable, steady, then there is a possibility of relaxation. So both the things are there. And then Ananta Samappattibhyam is if the mind is engaged consciously in something bigger. Like last time we talked about Shavasana. In Shavasana, it comes very easy because there's no effort involved. And naturally, Shavasana is very relaxing. And we are, through our mind, we are directing all the muscles of the body to relax. And the relaxation goes to such an extent that body becomes completely relaxed and there's no disturbance coming from the body. And the mind also becomes very calm. If mind is that time engaged in, this feeling of void, total shunyata, or as if there nothing is, the body is not there, then very soon one experiences kind of bodilessness. That is the often experience which is there reported by the sadhakas when they are doing good shavasana. They feel that as if they don't have a body. They have transcended the body. Now this is what is the aim. This should not occur only in shavasana, but this should occur all the time. That is the idea in yoga. So how to perfect this asana? Prayatna Shaithilya, Ananta Samappattibhyam are definitely there. But then initially certain amount of pain has to be borne for perfecting any asana, certain amount, because we are putting effort in what? Something which is not there, something which is not available to us. We are trying to gain that. So we have to put effort in that direction. And without pain, no abhyasa is possible. Without pain, the effort itself means some kind of discomfort, some kind of pain. So we have to put that right kind of effort in that direction. We have to bear the pain. Somebody who is not good in, say, Padmasana, for example. Now, Padmasana is a difficult position. Not everybody is able to do it well. And even if one goes into Padmasana, then how long one is able to sit? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. But suppose if one is required to sit even for 20 to 20 minutes, 25 minutes, then one has to put that kind of effort, and it will mean that one has to bear some amount of pain. So it becomes a tapa. It becomes a tapas. And when this kind of effort is put, then only the asana can be mastered. And the mind also has to be properly attuned to the body. Mind has to be very, very aware. Now that is the primary requirement. So last time I was telling you that I will read a passage. I was just referring to this Alfred Janak, which the author, Austrian or Russian author, which I was telling you last time. So I'll just read this passage to you. How the asana, while performing asana, what should be the state of mind, and this is normally people believe that in Buddhist system, the asanas are not recommended. But then in Vishuddhi Marga, there is a very interesting passage talking about how the body is to be held while doing meditation. So that passage is also there. But first I will read Hatha Yoga Pradipika passage, which reads, having extolled the place and the time and taking up the woe thus, today by the grace of God, I will perform pranayam with asana for gaining samadhi and its fruits. He should salute to the infinite Lord of Naga. That's Naga is Ananta. You have to understand Patanjali is also it is believed that Patanjali is the incarnation of Adishesha. And Ananta Naga is the Naga which supports the earth according to Indian mythology. So he says that, he should salute the infinite Lord of the Naga to ensure success in the asana. Salutation to the Lord of the Naga, who is adorned with thousands of heads, set with brilliant jewels, and who has sustained the whole universe, nourishes it, and is infinite. After this, he should begin his exercise of asanas, and when fatigued, he should practice shavasana. Should there be no fatigue, he should not practice it. Now, you see, this is the method suggested by one of the commentators on Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that whenever the asana session is done, asanas are done, then asana practice should begin with certain right mental attitude. And this is one of the example of what could be the attitude. So this has been given here. And then I was telling you about this other passage of Vishuddhi Marga, which has also again been quoted by Alfred Janak. So he says, in this explanation, we are borne out by Vishuddhi Marga. The Blessed One, in setting forth a way of deportment which is calm and does not partake of slackness or of distraction, said, he sits down, and then to show that he has sat down in a firm position, that he is feeling the bliss derived from the breathing in and out, and that there is a way to seize the object, the Blessed One said, bending the legs crosswise, etc., for the skin, flesh, and the sinews of a man who sits thus are not bent, and he does not feel those sensations which arise every moment from their being bent. Those sensations not arising, the mind becomes collected. The subject of meditation is not dropped, but achieves growth and development. Now, these are very important passages which are to be kept in mind if we are students of yoga and if we are trying to achieve what is known as Yoga Asana. Then these things have to be kept in mind. Otherwise, if the yogasanas are done merely by way of or in the manner of exercise, then mechanical advantages are there. Most of the advantages people talk about in yogasanas are mechanical advantages. Many people are not able to reach the spiritual advantage of asana. Asana can give us a lot, but we are not taking that much. We are taking only minimal. We can get more from the asana if we do it in a correct manner. So that is what Patanjali is suggesting. So what is the spiritual dimension of that? The spiritual dimension is that the sutra in Sutra 48, which talks about Tato Dvandva Anabhighata. This is the outcome of success in asana. This is the outcome of yogic posture. See, we have to remember, not all asanas performed by all people are done in a yogic manner. Most of the asanas are performed by way of exercises, and those benefits are there. But if the asanas are performed in a manner where Patanjali is prescribing, or in the ancient text, even Hatha Yoga Pradipika has talked about so many good things which normally are not understood. Why they are not understood? Because you see, when we are reading something, if there is no such experience of the kind which is being spoken of, we fail to see the importance of the words which are used. And if we have experienced something and we read, then immediately there is a connection. Then we understand the significance of each written word which is there. Otherwise, it just remains like we read any other book. We read Hatha Yoga Pradipika. We read any other book like that. We can read Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So the words which are mentioned, which are used in sutras, they may not mean much unless we understand that each of the word is representing a particular experience of yoga. And if we are looking for that experience and we have that kind of experience, then the word gets connected and we understand the significance of the text. Now, this is very important. So, tato dvandva anabhigata. Now, this is again a concept which, whether we have experienced this, like, simple thing, Shavasana. In Shavasana, we are able to transcend the body concerns very occasionally, very rarely, very rarely. Most of the time, we are living in the body. We are body oriented. We are fixed. Our minds are fixed in the body. We are never able to transcend the body concerns. Body is always drawing us towards itself. Even if we are, sitting comfortably, there's no hurry, there's no tension. Then also we cannot be comfortable because body has developed certain kind of attitude. Now, all that is at stake when we are talking about this Prayatna Shaithilya and Ananta Samappattibhyam, and then this Tato Dvandva Anabhighata. Tato Dvandva Anabhighata, where then the two extremes stop bothering the human being. They stop bothering the yogi. Now, what do we mean by Dvandva? What do we mean by, this Dvandva Anabhighata? two words are very significant here, dvandva and anabhighata. So what is dvandva? Dr. Saab often used to talk about a Greek goddess. The Greek goddess was cursed that she will not be able to see the world directly. She will not be able to experience the world directly. But she can see the world only in a mirror. So she's sitting in a cave and she's looking at the world through the mirror. And all the time, whatever she's seeing, whatever she's experiencing about the world, it is through the mirror. So now she's a cursed goddess because she can't see, she can't experience the world directly. Now, same thing happens in most of us. We are also like this cursed goddess. We are always living in dvandvas, and everything which happens in our life, we are looking in terms of dvandvas only. We are never able to transcend dvandvas. Understand well, this is very significant thing to understand, that all the time we are either on the one extreme or we are on the other extreme. We are never in a balanced state. We are never free from the dvandvas. And dvandvas which has been talked about here, they are heat and cold, day and night, light and darkness, comfort and pain, pleasure and pain, joy and unhappiness. So these are the extremes in which our mind is always oscillating, it is moving. So even in physical, either we are comfortable or we are uncomfortable. This is the position. And then not only it is in terms of the physical body, but look at our mental makeup, our psychological makeup, what we do. Whenever situations are evolving, now when we are living throughout the day, what we are doing throughout the day, we are moving between these two extremes. So a new situation arises. Now, when we look at this situation, how we look at the situation? We look at the situation either as threatening or as comfortable, as acceptable. Either it is threatening or it is acceptable. There's no other way we can look at the situation, because we have conditioned our minds to look at things. When we meet a person, whenever we meet a new person, or immediately the judgment starts. Immediately we start going into the extremes. Either we like the person or we dislike the person. So this is the way throughout the day we are living, or throughout the day again two things are there. Now look at this is again a little homework we can do. You can take any activity done during the day. We will not have time to do this just now, but then later on after the class, maybe you can take any activity since morning, whatever we have done. Actually, what was the motive behind doing those things? If we try to analyze, if we try to understand ourselves, if we try to analyze our motivations for doing whatever we are, even the most innocent kind of things, in the most common things, like taking a bath, eating food, or whatever, any activity we can, why we are doing it. If we ask ourselves why we are doing it, then we will become aware that, the two extremes are guiding us. What are those two extremes? We are trying to gain happiness. We are trying to become comfortable. We are trying to become happy. And at any cost, we are trying to avoid pain. Whether we are aware or whether we are not aware. Any new situation arises, immediately if you are feeling the threat, then there's a fear that we may lose our comfort. So we are perceiving the event from that perspective. Continuously, we are trying to seek happiness. We want to make ourselves comfortable and happy, and at the same time, we want to avoid pain. So this way, this raga and dvesha is guiding our life. These are the two extremes which are. And at deep psychological level, we are divided. We are divided between two extremes. That is why there is so much tension. That is why there is so much stress, because whenever some event takes place, whenever new situation arises, either we feel threatened or we feel comfortable. When we feel comfortable, when we feel that I can deal with the situation very easily, I have all the resources, I can deal with the situation, then we are comfortable. But if the situation is such that we feel that our resources are not enough, our capacities are not enough, it is very threatening to us. It may not be actually threatening, but then we perceive it as threatening because our mental makeup is like that. We can never look at things in a neutral way. But unfortunately, who is creating these extremes? Are these extremes in nature, or we are creating these extremes? Now, yoga would like us to understand the true nature of the world. We are creating the extremes. The other day in a class, I was giving this example of rain. So when rain is there, you are on a holiday, you are sitting in a upright big building and looking out of window, sipping your tea and having something nice to eat. You are looking at the clouds, you are looking at the sky, and suddenly starts pouring. The rains come and you are sitting by the window looking at the rain. How do you perceive the rain? You will say, I am in heaven. So beautiful it looks. The clouds, the cool breeze, and the comfortable position you are sitting in, enjoying the tea. So you are in heaven. Now the situation changes. Same rain is there. It is Monday morning. So Monday blues are there and you are rushing to office. You have an important meeting with your boss at 10 o'clock. You have left the house at 9 o'clock. As you come out of the building, you suddenly realize you don't have umbrella and it started raining heavily. And your vehicle is not starting. So what happens? The same rain is there. You are standing just below your building waiting for the taxi or car to or the vehicle to arrive. And you are remembering that you have an important meeting with your boss. And if you're not reaching there, definitely your boss is going to get angry. Now the rains are same. But now what you are thinking about the rain? So what is the mental state in that time? What will be the mental state when you are sitting by the window, nothing to do and enjoying the rain, and now you have to go reach the office and you are not able to reach the office? Earlier also the rain was there, now also the rain was there. What are the views about the rain? So can you say the rain rain made you happy and rain made you sad, or rain made you tense? What made us tense? मैं अगर खिड़की के पास बैठ के एंजॉय कर रहा हूँ तो ये एंजॉयमेंट रेन की वजह से हुई, बरसात की वजह से हुई, या और कोई कारण है उसके लिए? और जब मैं दुखी हो रहा हूँ, बरसात को गालियां दे रहा हूँ, always God does this to me, I am very unlucky, whenever I have some important thing, there is some kind of obstacle, then always the rain comes and then I am disturbed. No, I am so unlucky, all these bad things happen to me only. These are the thoughts when we are leaving for the office and it rains. So from where these thoughts have come? Has rain put these thoughts in our minds? Who has put these thoughts in our minds? Why we are thinking that? Rain is an event. It's an event. It is happening. Rain is rain. It will come when it has to come. So from where these experiences, from where these attitudes have arisen? Now this is the conditioning of the mind. We are always in two extremes. So we are always in dvandvas. Even at the physical level, these dvandvas are in the form of we want to be comfortable. So every time we change our body position, unconsciously, we are trying to unconsciously become comfortable. And we continue to sit in that same position, we immediately become uncomfortable, then again we want to change it. So the mind gets distracted because of that. Mind is never steady. Body always draws attention, the comforts of the body. And then at the deeper level, when we talk about, we are discussing Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and all the problems in our life are because of the avidya. It is the wrong notions, wrong perceptions. So which is the ultimate wrong notion, which is the ultimate avidya? The ultimate avidya, according to yoga, is to take body as Atma. We take body as spirit. We take body as consciousness. So we are very much body oriented. We are body oriented, but we are not living in the body. Mind and body are always in opposition. Wherever the body is, the mind is not there. Wherever the mind is there, the body is not there. So this conflict is there. That is why so much stress is there, and so many ill effects of stress are there, because this kind of disconnect is there between the body and mind. So these are the various issues which are involved in asanas, and they say that through asanas one is able to attain such a steady state of body that, as if like this Vishuddhi Marga passage which we read just now, it says that the signals or the disturbances or the impulses or the stimuli which is coming to us from the various parts of the body and disturb the mind, they will cease. And when they will cease, the mind will become calm. And the object of meditation will not leave the mind. That means mind will remain concentrated. Mind will remain focused. So when we are able to maintain this kind of focus and concentration, what does it mean? We have transcended the limitation. Limitation of what? Limitation of dvandvas. So these dvandvas are there. We have to become aware of these dvandvas in our life. We are always guided by these dvandvas. If one can get rid of these dvandvas, then one can remain. See, Buddha talks about madhyam marg. Neither here nor there. Be balanced. Yoga talks about same thing. Yoga is also madhyam marg. Yoga avoids both the extremes. There are lots of saying. Ati sarvatra varjayet. Sanskrit saying is there. Ati sarvatra varjayet. In Marathi there is a saying. Ati tithe mati. So wherever there is excess of what? Excess of any extreme. This Chinese philosophy, very profound philosophy, which is again, talking about madhyam marga, because Buddhistic thoughts are there. So even excessive joy can create ill health. Excessive joy can affect our organs, and they can create weakness in the organs. Excessive melancholy, excessive sadness also creates illness in the body. So even in terms of emotions, one has to be very balanced, because emotional factor is there in the asanas. Sukha is the emotional factor. So without any reason, one can be happy, comfortable. Normally, something happens, we get excited, we are happy. That is the extreme. And when something is not happening according to wishes, we are sad, we are unhappy. This is again another extreme. Now, this has to be avoided. A yogi has to have a balanced mind. And for that, body has to be balanced. The limitations of the body have to be transcended. So in yoga sense, transcendence is the most important aspect, which normally asana teachers don't teach, and the asana students don't pick up. That is the problem. And that is the reason why Dr. Jaydev said, even few asanas can give you whatever you want, provided they are done in correct manner. I told you last time that in 2013, twice I approached Dr. Jaydev, twice. And I asked him that now I have lots of time. And, I put it in different way, but I asked him that what should I do to go deeper into yoga experiences? So should I change my techniques, or will you recommend some technique to me? So he said, no need of new techniques. Whatever you are doing, you keep doing them. But you do it in such a way that you are able to transcend. Now he did not use the word transcend. What word he used? No, keep doing those things which you are doing regularly, but only things that you are able to go beyond thinking mind. These are the words of Dr. Jaydev. Try to go beyond thinking mind. Because thinking mind is what? Thinking mind is the mind which is running in dvandvas. Ye acha hai, ye bura hai, ye acha hai, ye bura hai, ye kala hai, ye gora hai, ye acha hai, ye bura hai, ye sukh hai, ye dukh hai. See, mind is all the time in that. So try to go beyond them and experience something which is which is Ananta Samapatti, something which is infinite, which is beyond all that. Because this thinking ये अच्छा है बुरा है, इसमें हम बहुत लिमिटेड थिंकिंग है, हमारी माइंड की रीच बहुत कम है, हमारा अनुभव बहुत छोटा है, पूरी जिंदगी वही कर रहे हैं और कब तक करते रहेंगे. The entire life we have been, all the time worried, all the time thinking about these small matters, in what way we are affected, am I happy or not, I'm comfortable or not. We don't enjoy or experience peace, which is possible only if we understand this true nature of how our minds are functioning. And asana can be of great help in achieving these kind of experiences. So doctor said that simple practices also are capable of taking you there, provided they are done in correct manner. Then today I came across one beautiful Sanskrit saying. It says asanena rajohanti. Asanena rajohanti. What does it mean? Asana kills rajas. What does it mean? Rajas stands for what? Rajas stands for agitation, disturbance, worry, tension. Rajas stands for that. So asanena rajohanti. Through asanas, rajas can be killed. Killed means it cannot be destroyed, but it can be overpowered. So we become free from rajas element, disturbance element. चंचलता जो मन की चंचलता है, शरीर की जो चंचलता है, उससे हम मुक्त हो सकते हैं.
Sir, many times while doing Shavasana, sir, after a certain time, I sort of have a conversation with myself that even the expectation of relaxation is an expectation, is a desire.
Yeah.
So I tell myself that let's try that we overcome this desire also. And sir, for a few moments, that mind is in a completely different states.
You raise a very important, it is very important point.
Yes.
That over effort is there. Then that also creates tension and we cannot achieve that. So
Yes.
in Shavasana also, that let go has to come.
Let go.
Without that, the Shavasana also will not succeed.
Not,
Because
yes.
if we put too much effort in whatever we are doing, like
Yes.
last time, this point we talked about, playfulness has to be there. There has to be a certain attitude where we are completely relaxed. And that can come from faith. We can just, trust God. We can just pray to God that I'm doing asana and give me good experience in that. And let go. And just do what is required to be done. So it's a very important point you raised that, too much effort also will create a lot of tension.
Yes. So the entire experience till you reach this stage, and then this experience where you trying to overcome the desire for relaxation, then it's a wonderful experience, sir.
Yes.
Totally different.
Yeah. The ideal situation would be that then we remain relaxed throughout.
Yes.
You all of you who have seen Dr. Jaydev, you saw how he used to walk, how he used to talk. And suppose if you approached him, he's walking towards you, and if you approached him, he will wait there, and then he will be totally aware of his body. He will be totally aware of where he was. He will look at you, and then he will ask you, what is it? And if you raise the question, he will become aware of what is happening. And his body was always so relaxed. He will walk so, very slowly, very consciously. So in his case, as if the relaxation was a part of his everyday activity. Throughout the day, he will, even I had seen him sitting in office, he will be sitting in a very relaxed position. Surprisingly, I was always, wondering how Dr. Jaydev enters the class. He takes a position, he sits in a particular position and doesn't change position at all. At the end of the class, he will very casually get up and he will walk. If we sat for that long in a stationary position, our legs will go in cramp definitely, or some pain will be there. It will be difficult for us to get up immediately and walk. We'll have to get up and then we have to settle. Then we have to, wait for the pain to go and then we will walk. But I saw that I used to consciously observe Dr. Jaydev. He'll be very relaxed. So as if that relaxation was there, and there was no disturbance from the body at all. He will be just focused. Maybe that could be the ideal situation.
In fact, sir, like every day's experience is different in Shavasana. Like every day's experience is different.
Yeah, our physical condition, the mental state, the feelings and emotions which are there at that time, or some thoughts or worries, everything affects the body.
So when I joined the institute, sir, and that time Dr. Saab used to take the 6:30 class.
Morning, yeah.
Yeah, morning, sir. So he used to, when I joined, he said, only do Yoni Mudra. So after some time, I used to say, Doctor Saab, haath dukhne lag gaya hai. Then he used to say, now start concentrating on the pain.
Yeah.
Make that pain an object of your this thing,
Observation.
concentration.
Yes.
And Niranjan sir, if the mosquitoes used to bite, तो इसे काटने दो, अभी उस पे भी concentrate करो. But sir, actual में, if you could gather that kind of a thing that let the mosquitoes bite, then after some time the pain should not be there. Somehow it was a experience to be done. Otherwise, you cannot describe it in words. Something of that sort.
You are lucky you learned from Dr. Jaydev all the asanas.
Yes, yes, sir. I learned Yoni Mudra. I learned in Yoga Mudra. I used to always say, sir, while bending, if the surrender doesn't come, then it is mechanic. That's simple one line. While bending, loosen everything and just have the feeling of surrender. So I learned it from him and then from Ajay sir. So I'm blessed. Both of them are.
Ajay was in that class for a very long time.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So lucky person.
And doctors have handed it over to Ajay sir to take the class.
Yes, yes.
In fact, not only in the Yoga Mudra, but it's all forward bending asanas. The attitude of surrender has to be there.
Namaste, sir.
Sorry, yeah, please carry on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Please. I actually have questions.
Yeah.
Sir, first of all, very beautiful class. Actually, last class, my internet was not good and I missed your assignment because I was not able to hear your voice clearly. But I do Yoga Mudra very regularly and there's a lot of let go and vairagya in Yoga Mudra and releases all rajas and anxiety as well. But sir, I have a few questions. Actually, I always wonder that the asana as per Bhagavan Patanjali is different from other asanas mentioned in other scriptures of Hatha Yoga because I wonder that this asana, is it movement? Means the way we move from one pose to the other, or it is just a sitting posture to achieve meditation. So that is actually my first question. And my other question, I don't know if it's related, that as in Ashtanga Yoga, asana comes in the third place, right? So only after yama and niyama are achieved, then the asana comes automatically, or it could come before yama and niyama.
So now we talk about asanas in many disciplines. So mainly the asanas are related to Hatha Yoga. So asana has been a part of the Indian way of life. So in puja also you'll find, the normal worshipping methods, there also the asanas are important. So that is one place where we can think of asanas. Then we have asanas in Hatha Yoga, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Then we find that Patanjali is talking about asana in a different manner. And apparently it may appear that these are all different, approaches. But even in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, you will find that here Hatha Yoga Pradipika doesn't define asana. It doesn't give any definition of asana. Patanjali defines asana. That is one major difference. And then Arogyam, Angalaghavam, and Sthirta. These are the three things. Patanjali says Sthira Sukham Asanam. And Hatha Yoga Pradipika says Sthirta, then Arogyam, and Angalaghavam. So this Angalaghavam can be, what do we mean by Angalaghavam? The lightness of the body. Now you see, lightness is always connected to it is a feeling. It is a feeling. Right? To feel lightness is a feeling. So Angame Laghavam. Now Anga Laghavam is equivalent to Sukha of Patanjali. Sthirta he is talking about. Sukha is in the form of Anga Laghavam. And later on you will find when he is talking about meditative postures, even in while describing 4 meditative postures, the first is the Siddhasana. So, in Siddhasana, Swatmaram has gone in great detail. And he says that if you are able to perfect Siddhasana, where is the need for doing any other asana? There is no need for any other asana at all. Absolutely no need if you can perfect Siddhasana. So these are the words of Swatmaram. So there also, his tendency is also that towards moving towards a particular posture. Then of course he is also talking very highly about Padmasana. And Padmasana I know from the practical experiences also, and from the point of view of learning of various systems. Now you see, Padmasana is the only practice done by a particular meditative Mahayana sect. In Zen meditation, when they are sitting in Zazen, the most important position of the body is Padmasana. And throughout their meditative practices, this is the only asana which is to be practiced. Zazen is done only in one posture. So even though asanas has been mentioned in various disciplines and in various scriptures, but the inclination or the guidance or the direction seems to be moving towards a particular asana in which we can sit for longer duration. Now, when a person starts yoga, what happens is his body may not be ready for it. His body may not be ready for a particular posture to be able to sit long in that posture. So his body needs preparation. His body needs strengthening. For strengthening, all the cultural asanas are recommended. So Yoga Institute's founder Yogendraji has very clearly divided asanas in 2 categories: meditative postures and cultural postures. And in cultural postures also we find that there are postures which are forward bending, backward bending, sideward bending. There are head low postures, and there are postures for stretching like Tadasana is there or Yastikasana is there. There are postures which are good for relaxation. Now all these varieties of asanas, they are preparing the body to be able to undertake a meditative practice for a longer duration. That seems to be the aim, which we may overlook, which normally escapes our attention. But why we are, because health is a byproduct. Health is not the aim of asanas. So even in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, he talks about Sthirta, Arogyam, and Angalaghavam. See, are we trying for Angalaghavam? Are we trying for Sthirta? We are trying for health. Health to comes when a person is performing asanas. Health is a definite thing which will come. In fact, all yoga practices are for health. Now that should answer this first question. And the second question about yamas and niyamas being perfected. Now you see, the entire scheme of Ashtanga Yoga is not that. It has not been given in this way that you have to perfect the yamas and then you can go for niyamas, and then you go for asanas. All the 8 angas are simultaneously starting. They are simultaneously. Out of yamas, 5 yamas, we may not be able to concentrate on 5 yamas. We may select one. Out of niyamas, we may not be able to select all 5. We may select one. But simultaneous practice is going on. On one hand, the yamas are there, the niyamas are there, and then asana also has to be practiced. Then little amount of pranayam also has to be there. And when these two are happening, automatically there is need for pratyahara. And whenever we are talking about concentrating the mind, dharana comes in. Any kind of concentration, willful concentration. You see, whenever one tries to consciously focus mind on something, it is dharana. Because there is willfulness. There are times when we can get concentrated very easily for a very long time. But that concentration is not voluntary concentration. It is involuntary concentration. Because the subject is very attractive, the object is very attractive, we may get lost into it. We are watching an interesting movie. So normally we are not able to sit in Sukhasan for 10 minutes. But when we are watching the movie for half an hour, we are lost into the movie. We don't even realize where we are sitting, what we are doing. Movie is so gripping. So concentration is very good. But the concentration is not voluntary here. So whenever consciously we are focusing on something, it is dharana only. And in yoga, when we are paying attention to the body, so if we are asked, for example, Shavasana, we are going part by part, or we are just becoming aware. Focus on the breath. Very common. Sukhasana we do. And we say that become aware of the breath. Now this is dharana. Because mind is focused. And consciously we are trying. So it is dharana. So all these steps are going hand in hand. And one will support the other, one will strengthen the other. This way it goes on.
Gee, thank you very much, sir. Just one more question,
Yeah.
because you read out something from Alfred, and then I did not get the whole name. If you can,
Janek.
Sorry,
Janek. Janek.
J-
Janek, and it is I don't know German language or Austrian language. It is.
uh-huh.
He was a scholar. He was a research scholar who had done a good work on asanas. So I think his articles are also there. Maybe
Okay.
some of his articles are available. You can
Okay,
go
I
through
will.
them. In fact,
Yes.
the title of the article is The Methodical Principles in Yoga.
Okay, okay.
So you type methodical principles in yoga on Google, maybe you'll get the connection.
Yes, I have noted it down. And
You can read that. It's a very interesting article. I got it from Yoga Institute library. And so a few things which I liked from the library, I will just make a copy of it or make a Xerox and return the original book. That's how I still have that.
methodical
Principles in yoga.
Principles. Okay, principles in yoga. So, sir, you read that paragraph.
The methodical
It's
principles in yoga.
okay. It's from this article. What you read?
Yes. His name is Adolf Janek. Adolf.
Okay.
ADOLF and then JANAEEK. And on first E there is a dot. So I think the pronunciation is German or Austrian pronunciation. I can't make out.
Okay, JANECK, right? Janek. Okay.
JANAEEK.
JANAEEK. Okay.
Janek.
So what you read was from this article.
Yes.
But then you
Yes.
mentioned also something from Vishuddhi Marga later.
He has quoted that. He has written that.
He has quoted Vishuddhi Marga of Buddha Ghosha.
Yes.
You mean?
Yeah.
Okay. He has quoted.
He has quoted it.
Okay. So I can find it online, right?
You'll be able to find it online.
Okay, I'll try to find.
559. Page 559.
Oh wow, it's such a big book. Okay.
This is the size I have. It begins from page 516 with me and ends with page 567. So there is the rest of the work which is there, which might be available or may not be available. Like you'll have to
Okay,
search for it.
yes, I will search for it.
I
Yes.
can be worth the effort and try it.
Yes, and sir, just one last question, if you don't mind, because you mentioned that before starting the yoga asana, we make prayer for Bhagwan Patanjali, right?
Bhagwan Patanjali or whatever is our deity, we can pray to that deity, and then
Okay.
we can say that, bestow your blessings on us so that my efforts are successful. Because whatever we do, there is one human effort and there is one Devi effort or grace which comes. So if the grace
Okay.
is there, things become easy. That is the idea behind this.
Right. So it can be any deity. We can select anything. You know what Dr. Jaydev used to select in okay. Yes, just was curious. So thank you, sir.
So
Thank you.
try to find out if you find something interesting, you can share.
Yes, I will. I will share. What do you pray, sir, in the beginning?
I have. We'll discuss some other time.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to, yeah, out of curiosity, because there are so many prayers and sometimes I don't know which one to select sometimes. So,
So any deity towards whom you feel very strongly emotionally, and there's a feeling of reverence, whose grace you consider is important, it's okay.
okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Niranjan, you were talking about selecting any activity and trying to assign a motive. Now, motives, what I understand, are these four dharma, artha, uh, uh, calm, and moksha. So these motives we have to assign, or what?
Whatever motives you can name according to your understanding. These are the classical motives which are there. These are the classical motives which are ascribed to all human efforts and activities and endeavors. But then in this also, we are most of the time we are engaged only in one motive, that is kama. Dharma and kama and artha, two motives. Kama and artha, these are the two prime movers for us. Very few activities are done for dharma and moksha. So if we analyze our day-to-day activity, we'll find if we are looking at our motives from the point of view of these four purusharthas, then you will find that the two purusharthas are prominent in everyone's life, that is kama and artha. And in today's world, most of the activity, maybe 70, 80, 90% activity is for kama and artha. For moksha, there is very little activity. For only conscious people can, because dharma is somebody who is aware, he can only do dharma. If one is not aware, one is guided by his instincts, one is guided by his impulses, then he is guided all the time by artha and kama. Moksha is a very far-fetched thing.
ये सूत्र क्लास तो मोक्ष में आएगा ना?
हाँ, योग सूत्र क्लास मोक्ष में आएगा. करेक्ट है.
आज का तो मोक्ष हो गया.
हाँ, तो दिस एफर्ट इज फॉर मोक्ष.
तो हम लोग इतने बुरे नहीं है यार.
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं, बहुत अच्छे हैं, इसीलिए तो बैठे. अरे मेरे को इतनी देर से सुन रहे हैं यार तुम लोग. अच्छे लोग ही सुन सकते हैं इतनी देर, तो बुरे लोग कैसे सुनेंगे. लेकिन इसमें भी वी हैव टू बिकम अवेयर. अभी कैसा है, वी से दैट आई हैव जॉइंड योगा. Yoga is for the ultimate benefit. Yoga is for Shreyas. Yoga can give everything. But what is our motive to join yoga? Sometimes we may have a motive of, this back pain is there, so we are doing yoga. Stomach problem is there, so we are doing yoga. So that will become a lower motivation. If it is done with the clear idea that I jokingly tell, whenever we are discussing this, often I say that, you look at the classes which are opening up teaching yogasanas, everywhere you will find that you can get rid of diabetes, you can become very good in this, or you can do stress management, you can remove all the stresses from life. This is the selling point of all the yoga classes. Have you joined any yoga classes which says, come here, I teach only peace of mind here? कोई योगा क्लास ऐसा एडवर्टाइज करता है क्या यहाँ? हियर वी टीच पीस ऑफ माइंड, कम एंड लर्न। डिसीज मैनेजमेंट तो ठीक है, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट ठीक है, लुक बेटर, इंक्रीज फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, इंक्रीज कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, ऑल दैट इज फाइन। सभी योगा कर रहे हैं, ऑल ऑफ देम आर डूइंग योगा, फॉर व्हाट इज द मोटिव?
दुकान बंद हो जाएगी।
तो फिर इसीलिए तो मैं लास्ट टाइम आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट स्वामी भास्कर अरण्य। इसे सी, हम लोग का इधर क्या एक्टिविटी करेगा? कोई भी आएगा तो हम बोलेगा ये आसन में बैठो, भगवान का ध्यान करो, बस। उसके अलावा है क्या योग में? वही योग है। तो दुकान कैसे चलेगी? दुकान चलाने का तो फिर अपने को सब दुकान भी चलाना जरूरी है। चलो, बहुत बातें हो गई।
थैंक यू।
Sir.
थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
everyone.
sir. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Hari Om.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. सर आपने रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप करना है।